Welcome to Letting Go University. Today we're going to be letting go of our perceptions that we may have a new perception come to us. It's lesson 313 from the Course in Miracles workbook. Now let a new perception come to me. A prayer of today: Father, there is a vision which beholds all things as sinless, so that fear has gone. And where it was is love invited in. And love will come wherever it is asked. This vision is your gift. The eyes of Christ look on a world forgiven. In his sight are all sins forgiven, for he sees no sin in anything he looks upon. Now let his true perception come to me, that I may waken from the dream of sin and look within upon my sinlessness, which you have kept completely undefiled upon the altar to your Holy Son, the self with which I would identify. Are you prepared to relinquish valuing the perceptions which you've held before about others and yourself and the world, that you may see with the vision of Christ, see things through the truth of love, and allow that in where all other things that had been seen before once were replaced? It's not something the ego is going to choose willingly. The illusion of separation, karma, the ego depends upon fear to continue. And it is an option that anyone may choose. And to let this fear energy come up, to relinquish it, to turn it over to God, is uncomfortable and inconvenient at times. But to ignore it and to just continue to stuff it down, to fight it, claiming it has some kind of power over you, doesn't make it go away. In the context of love, in the context of sinlessness, in the context of heaven, these things will be relieved as we just allow them to come to the surface. So for today's release, we will just look at some perception we've had of another, some perception of ourself, of sin, which the Christ sees not, which you, as you really are, see not, which does not exist in heaven. And we just take this opportunity to let it go or not. You never have to let go. You are free. The power of decision is your own. What you choose to value is your choice. And love sets you free to make that choice. This entire realm, this entire world is an opportunity to let go and let God. So let's begin this release by just bringing to mind someone who we still hold as sinful. Not out of spiritual pride, making wrong of still holding someone as sinful, just acknowledging somebody's bad, sinful, or wrong. That seems like that. Could you uncensor and unpack and just witness what comes up? Who comes to mind? Who is the sinner? And without judging what's coming up, could you just look at it? Observe it. Notice if this claim of sin has any value for you. If you would keep it. And could you notice the feeling behind seeing this person as sinful? And that could be pride, anger, desire, fear. Any number of feelings. Could you just allow that feeling up? Letting the thoughts go, letting the perceptions go, could you just allow yourself to be with this feeling for a moment? As if it's just a feeling, which would cloud and veil the love that you are. Could you allow that feeling, that cloud, to just come up, do what it does? All clouds pass, the sun still shines. You are the sun, not the clouds. Could you simply allow the cloud? Feel that feeling. Just enduring what is transitory rather than fighting it, trying to contain the cloud, manage the cloud. Could you just allow this feeling to go? Would you let go of this feeling and this perception of sin? Let a new perception come to you. Would you let go of this feeling, this perception of sin? And let a new perception come to you. And how would you look upon your neighbor, this other person? And rather than attempt to force it, oh, I know I'm supposed to see them as love, I'm supposed to love them, or this is what I have been commanded, the second commandment, love my neighbor as myself. And so sometimes we try and force it. We attempt to choose love out of guilt. We claim we sin for not loving someone. What if it was just a misperception of the ego? Could you just look at any perception remaining of this person as sinful, as deserving of hell? Without judging it, just allowing up any making wrong of, any claiming that they are this physical body, and that what that body has done has bound God's Son to hell. Just looking at it without judging, relinquishing the judgment of the observation of what you're observing. Any sense your neighbor has sinned. And behind the story, behind the scenes, the pictures, the symbols in the mind, could you notice this feeling of anger, of fear, of condemnation, even hate? Whatever comes up. Could be wanting to control them, wanting them to be different. In letting go, we simply observe what comes up. Could you observe what comes up? Experience that feeling without trying to change it or modify it. This is called setting yourself free. So we relinquish the judgment of ourself for having a feeling. We just let this feeling go free. Could you allow this feeling to be there, letting it run, staying with it, ignoring the thoughts? Could you set this feeling free? Set this perception of sin free. And let a new perception come to you in its place. Would you let go? Set this feeling free, and the perception seen on this feeling frequency, and let a new perception come to you in its place. It's just a choice. You'll never be forced, for love does not force. Love sets free. And perhaps a new perception comes to you in this moment. Perhaps there's more of this feeling yet to be relinquished. And so taking that brother, that neighbor, that appearance of a divine being as if it's a human, as if it's a body, could you notice any perception remaining that they are sinful or unworthy of forgiveness, of grace? And without putting sin on yourself for a misperception, a simple error. It may not seem like an error at all. It may seem very valid. Could you just let that come up? Uncensored, unmodified, unjudged. Could you notice the feeling behind the perception of sin, of unforgiveness? And could you just let that be? Let that flow. Allow that feeling behind the pictures and images in the mind. It has been said all thoughts are resistance to letting go. Could you ignore the thoughts and just be aware of the feeling, experience the feeling? The feeling of claiming sin is real. The feeling of that perception. Whatever it is, it needs no label to be felt and to be relinquished, to be surrendered to God. Could you surrender this feeling to God and the perceptions on that frequency, in that attractor field? It's just a choice. Would you surrender, relinquish the sight of sin? That a new perception come to you in revelation of love. And just allowing surrender to your Father, your source, yourself, the self with which you would identify. Now let that true perception come to you. And whether it happens in this moment or the revelation occurs later today, or in many years, it is done. Could you surrender the perception of the past, the perception of sin, to God? And let a new perception come to you. It's optional. You're free. You never have to let go. And to surrender is to surrender. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Turning it over to God. Turning it over to love. Turning your vision over to Christ, who sees no sin, who sees only love. Now let a new perception come to you. And let us take a look at this, what we have previously identified as ourself, this body. This body, what it's done, this mind, what it's thought. Does it still seem like sin is real for you? Something you've done, something you've thought. Guilt is found, I've discovered guilt this frequency, this attractor pattern, prevalent in so many things. Could be I ate something. Could be I looked at somebody lustfully. Could be that I made a mistake. I didn't signal on the road. The little sins, this frequency of guilt, this imagination of some terrible wrong. Do you carry any of that in your perception for yourself? And to uncensor, to just allow whatever is coming up in this moment, all these little guilt hits, claiming that you, the Son of God, are this body and what this body does, this mind and what this mind thinks. Could you just witness what comes up for you? Any perception that you have sinned? This guilt frequency, this guilt attractor field. Now you are the Son of God, sinless, pure, lovable and loving. And yet this feeling says it's not. The mind's endless explanations of this feeling would deny it, would resist your purity, your essence, your true self, your identity that you would choose. So could you just notice the interference, that feeling behind these thoughts that you have somehow sinned? And could you allow that feeling, let the thoughts go? Thank you, thoughts. Wow, there is this feeling here. There is a feeling of guilt or shame. Perhaps. If it's there, could you let it be there? Not try and change it. Not engage with the thoughts, just let them scroll by without clicking subscribe. Could you just let this cloud over the sun that you are be there, rather than try to fight the cloud? For your light will always shine, and the clouds will always pass, if you let them. Could you allow this feeling just to be there? Nothing to modify, nothing to fight, just a feeling just for now. Nothing to explain, nothing to figure out. Just letting this feeling run, staying with it. And could you let this feeling go? Let the cloud pass. And have the perception that you had looking through that cloud be replaced by a new one, the full light of the sun. Would you let go of this feeling, this guilt, this perception of sin, that you may see in love as the Christ's vision reveals to you what you really are? Will you now let a new perception come to you? No rush. For what you are always is, what you are not never was. Could you let go of what you are not? Sinful. Now this attractor pattern, this attractor field of guilt, the frequency of sin, it is self-perpetuating. It would insist, no, I've done wrong, bad. And it's subtle, oftentimes very subtle across the board. We make wrong or bad of every little thing we're doing. If we're doing something, we should be doing something else. We should be doing it better. Oh, bad me, wrong me. The little subtle hits of sinfulness, of guilt, blocking the perception of what you really are, your true identity. Sinless, pure, innocent, loving, powerful. And so could you notice anywhere you have a perception of sin, whether great sin or small little, whoops, did that wrong, bad, This attractor pattern will grab at anything to claim the Son of God is sinful. For that is the ego and what it does. And rather than attack this, fight it, make it wrong, could you simply notice the feeling behind the perception of sin, of wrong, of bad? Could you let it be just a feeling? Just a feeling. And rather than fight the feeling, claim it's real, could you just begin to release it? Let that feeling move through. And the thoughts pop up, rather than fight them or play with them, could you just let them pass by? Like a social media feed that you're not interested in. And could you just be with this feeling? Aware of it. Oh, the frequency of claiming a perception of sin of myself, a sinner, a wrongdoer. That's just a feeling. Could you let go of valuing it, believing the thoughts on that frequency? And could you just allow this feeling to release? Could you release the perception of guilt and sin? For it is not your Father's will for you that you perceive yourself this way? Could you release that perception, that feeling, and let a new perception come to you? Would you release the perception of any sense the Son of God could be in sin? Would you release that feeling of guilt? Let it go. And have a new perception of yourself. Could you turn over the judgments which you have made on the Son of God to God? Notice the feelings that come up when you're claiming sin is real, when you're perceiving sin wrong, bad. Could you relinquish your judgment, these feelings, to your Father? These perceptions, could you value them not? Surrender them to God and let a new perception come to you. And as we do this, we say, let us today behold each other in the sight of Christ. How beautiful we are, how holy and how loving. Brother, come and join with me today. We save the world when we have joined, for in our vision it becomes as holy as the light in us. Remember the last judgment, my brother, sister, same thing. Innocence, loving and loved, pure. That is the final judgment and the only judgment. Well done releasing. Thank you for joining us, and have the best day as a new perception comes to you.